Hello and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 battle report. This week my Primaris, Dark Angels and Deathwatch army will be taking on Matt's Space Marines in a new Maelstrom of War using the new rules in White Dwarf. Here we have the 2,000 points army I'm going to be running today. I have a Dark Angels battalion and a Vanguard detachment and a Deathwatch patrol detachment. This was just to take it up to 2,000 points. So that is going to give me a total of 9 command points to start with. So leading my Dark Angels Primaris army will be my Master in Gravis armour, and he will have the Power Sword and the Autostorm Bolt Gauntlet, and he will be taking the Brilliant Strategist Warlord trait and the Eye of the Unseen Relic. I also have 2 Primaris Lieutenants, one with Power Sword and Bolt Pistol and one with Bolt Rifle, and I have an Ancient with a Bolt Rifle in the banner. I've got 3 squads of Intercessors, 1 5-man and 2 10-man. I've got a unit of 6 Reavers with the Grav Shoots, the pistols and the combat blades. And I've got a unit of 8 Hellblasters with the Plasma Incinerators. Also got a unit of 3 Inceptors at the back there with the Bolters. A Redemptor Dreadnought with the Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon, a Heavy Flamer and the Fragstorm Launchers. And the Repulsor with the Twin Las Cannon and the Las Talon upgrade. Most of the other weaponry remains the same. And in my patrol detachment, I have a unit of 10 Intercessors and a Primaris Watchmaster who is being subbed at the moment for Watch Captain Artemis till I get the model painted. So that gives me a good bit of reserves, solid troop base, not so much anti-tank in the army, but hopefully the Plasma guys and the Dread and the Repulsor can take some damage. But a lot of board presence with the deep striking Intercessors, the Inceptors and the Reavers going into deep strike. So that is my 2,000 points of Dark Angels and Deathwatch. Here we have Matt's Space Marine army, which is a single battalion which is going to be running as Ultramarines, giving him +1 leadership and the ability to fall back and still shoot at -1 to hit, which is a nice bonus to have so you don't get all your Marines tied up in combat. And he's also going to be benefiting from the new Beta Bolter, sorry, not Beta anymore, the new Bolter discipline, special rules giving him extra shots if he remains stationary. Leading the force we have a Space Marine Captain on a bike with a Power Fist and the Shield Eternal Relic, and he's going to be taking the Storm of Fire Warlord trait, which on a 6 to wound gives units nearby an extra -1 AP. So great for getting through my power armour. He's also got a lieutenant with a power sword and a grav pistol. He has, for his troops unit, he has 4 units of tactical marines, 4 10-man squads. Most are running a missile launcher, and we have a couple of melty guns scattered about in there, and 4 rhinos as the dedicated transports. He's also got a unit of Stern Guard, who, quite a good unit. I like these guys. They're +1 to win stratagem and -2 AP bolters, really useful against Marines. And he has a unit of 6 Centurions with the heavy bolters and the Hurricane bolters as well, which get to benefit from the bolter discipline rule even on the move. So that's double shots at full range, so very effective. And finally in the force he has a Land Raider with the 2 Twin Las Cannons and the Twin Heavy Bolter. So this is going to be a tough prospect for my army to try and crack, as I don't have a huge amount of anti-tank firepower, and there's a lot of nice bolter fire coming in here to do some damage to the Primaris units I have. So they'll be fairly safe in the rhinos until they can get to grips with me. So now that the armies have been gone through the armies, we'll show you the table setup and the scenario we're going to play today. So today's game we're going to be playing Cleanse and Capture, which is the basic 3 objectives per turn Maelstrom of War mission, but we're going to be using the new Schemes of War rules from White Dwarf for Maelstrom. So this differs a little from normal Maelstrom in that instead of the normal deck of 36 cards, you draw 18, and it gives you a little bit of deck building capabilities. So for my 18 cards, I've selected Secure Objective 1 to 6, Defend Objective 1 to 6, Overwhelming Firepower, Behind Enemy Lines, No Prisoners, Supremacy, Hold the Line, and Mission Critical Objective. So the way this works is you draw 5 cards at the start of your turn, or before the game begins, and you can activate up to 3 cards per turn. So from your hand of 5, you select 3 that will be activated for your turn, and you can keep up to 1 of these hidden during the game. When that's done, you draw up to another 5 cards in your hand. You can only score cards which are activated, so this allows you to choose 3 cards out of your potential 5 in order to try and score during the game, and takes some of the variability of Maelstrom out of it a bit, allowing you to decide what you're going to score early in the game. And there's also some new stratagems. Reprioritize for 2 CP, which allows you to discard up to 2 cards from your hand and replace them. Tactical Foresight, which allows you to look at the top 3 cards in your deck and decide to put them at the top or bottom, back in any order. And Determined Push, which allows you to draw a card you've discarded and try and score that again. So this should hopefully lead to quite an interesting mission, which each player choosing the cards to score best. So we should hopefully be able to get some nice good high scores for Maelstrom. Going over the objectives, we have number 6 at the back of my deployment zone, number 4 over here in the ruins on my left flank, with number 1 being in the ruins here over on the right, number 3 towards the centre of the battlefield here, number 5 over here, and number 2 over here in Matt's deployment zone. So Matt deployed first, and we'll get to choose whether to go first. We're just playing a slightly modified version of the rules here, similar to Chapter Approved 2018. So he's put 2 of the rhinos on his left, a nice fire base at the centre here with the Land Raider with the Stern Guard inside, and the Centurions backed up by the Captain and Lieutenant, and another of his 2 rhinos over here on his right flank. So some good mobility here to push forward. We are using the ITC rules for the ruins, so you can't see through the bottom floor. So over on my left, I put my Dreadnought, a unit of 10 intercessors, the Ancient and one of my lieutenants. Unit of 5 intercessors back here, next to the objective to try and grab that. I have put the Land Raider, the Repulsor, the Flying Land Raider, on my right with another unit of intercessors with another lieutenant and the Primaris Master at the back here. And I spent 2 of my CP to put my Deathwatch intercessors and the Deathwatch Primaris Watchmaster into reserve to go along with the Inceptors and the Reavers, and my Hellblasters are in the Repulsor there. So I think don't have the advantage of mobility, but I've got the advantage of the reserves and the board control. So until Matt starts getting his units out of the rhinos, there's going to be a lot of space for me to come down and try and deploy my units. So Matt finished deploying first, and he'll get to choose whether he goes first or second. So Matt?
First please, pal.
Yep, so I think that's a good shout. He can get his smoke launchers off, get his units into better positions to fire on me. So let's see if I can seize the initiative. Okay, so as you can see, I was able to seize the initiative, so I will take the first turn and try and move up my forces. Unfortunately, I don't have too much anti-tank at the moment, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to might be able to pop a couple of his rhinos. Probably not going to be able to do much to the Land Raider, might be able to hurt it a little, but not too much damage. And we'll come back to you with the cards drawn for turn 1. for the Dark Angels. Dark Angels start at turn 1. Matt has decided to spend 2 CP on prepared positions in order to give his vehicles the benefit of cover save and his unit out in the open, which is probably good as this will negate the AP value of my intercessors, so still give him a 3 up save for his vehicles. So using the new Maelstrom rules, I draw 5 cards into my hand to begin the game. So these are the 5 I've drawn, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to play Secure Objective 1, which is in the runes beside me. I'm going to take this one and keep it secret. I'm allowed to keep up to 1 secret. And I'm also going to take Supremacy. So I think that gives me quite a good hand to start the game with. And I'm going to come back with my movement phase for turn 1. End of the movement phase for Dark Angels. My Intercessor squad on the right advancing 4 inches to get into range of Objective 1. That's one of the Maelstrom cards I have to draw this turn. My Primaris Lieutenant and my Captain moving up. The Repulsor moving towards the nearest Rhino, nod to fire. My squad at the back here moving up round towards the objective. And over on the right flank, the squad of Intercessors moving up to get into range of the Centurions, and also to grab this objective here, and the Dreadnought moving round to the left here to target the enemy army. So that's the end of my movement phase. So I'm going to score Supremacy at the moment because I'm currently holding 3 objectives. I'm going to get Secure Objective 1 because I advanced into it. And my other card is hidden for the moment. So what I'm going to do, I think the shooting phase, probably the Dreadnought and the Intercessors are going to open fire on the Centurions. I've got little chance of doing damage to the Rhinos on the left flank at the moment. And the Repulsor is going to put his firepower into one of the Rhinos over here to hopefully take that out. So we'll come back to the shooting phase for the Dark Angels on turn 1. Start the shooting phase, the Repulsor's going to start. He's going to put his Twin Lascannon, the Las Talon and the Crack Storm grenade launchers into the nearest Rhino over here. And the Storm Bolters and the various Heavy Stubbers are going to go into the Centurions over there, which they just have range of. So we'll start with the 4 Las Talons. So I'll roll these together. Lascannon and the Las Talon into the Rhino, hitting on 3s because power of the Machine Spirit, and re-rolling 1s because my Captain's nearby. Just as well, I disembarked him, or I chose to deploy him. So that's 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. Re-rolling 1s because the Lieutenant's nearby. Oh, do you know what? I think I'm going to CP one of these, so I can hopefully get first strike. Yeah, let's CP it. Do I wound? I do, so that's 2 wounds. Do I get the CP back? I do not, so that takes me down to 6 CP. So that is 2 wounds at -3, so that's going to be 5 up save for the Rhino there. Nope, so that is failed, so that's 2d6 damage for the Rhino. Might not be enough to pop it, but hopefully do some damage. That is 8 wounds. I will take that. So we'll do the... So that's down to 2 wounds. I do have 2 Crack Storms going into this, so might be able to destroy it there. We'll do the rest of the shooting and come back to it and see what I can do. So the rest of the firepower here. The Repulsor, unfortunately, able to take out this Smoking Rhino. The Lascannons reduced it to 2 wounds. But the Crack Storm missiles and the Storm Bolters, which turns out didn't have range for the Centurions, fired in, doing a few wounds, but the 2 up armor save really helping out here, causing no damage. The Intercessors here being unable to fire because they advanced. Over here, Dreadnought firing into the Centurions, actually managed to take 1 wound. The Intercessors here firing over into the Centurions managed to do 4 wounds. And then Matt rolled 4 2s to save, which is a great use of the prepared positions stratagem, because if it wasn't negating the AP of my bolt rifles, that would have been 4 wounds going through, so probably enough to kill one and severely harm another. But thanks to prepared positions and their 2-up armour save, really being saved here. So at the end of my turn, not the most effective turn for my firepower, but moving into position for hopefully more goes the next round. So I don't get first strike or first blood because I failed to kill a unit. Annoyingly, only taking this Rhino down to 2 wounds. But I will score secure objective 1, which I'm on, and I will get D3 points for supremacy. Only another 1 for supremacy, so that does take me up to 2 points to the Dark Angels at the end of turn 1, and we'll come back to you with the cards drawn for Matt on the Ultramarines turn 1 and what objectives he's going to go for and how damaging his reprisal firepower. So that 2 CP spent, 2 of his 8 spent on prepared positions, but coming out really nicely, helping his Rhino survive with 2 wins remaining, and definitely helping the Centurions here. So we'll see how much of my force can be left after his firepower, what he decides to do. I'm looking forward to seeing what these Centurions with their heavy bolters can do, or not looking forward to. Start of turn 1 for the Ultramarines, Matt chose secure objective 1, defend objective 2, and secure objective 5. So 2's over here next to his Rhino, 5's over here next to his Land Raider, so he's going to get that. 1 is all the way over here next to my Intercessors, so potentially Matt could disembark from the Rhino and swamp that objective with enough bodies for his Tactical Marines in order to steal it from me, and if he can get first blood, which is entirely likely, that will give him a nice lead. So we'll come back to you with the movement phase for the Ultramarines on turn 1. End of the movement phase, and the 2 Rhinos on the right flank staying back here to defend the objective. The Centurions moving up towards the enemy line, but with only a 4-inch move, it's going to take a while for these guys to get through. The captain and the lieutenant staying behind in order to support them. Over here, both squads disembarked from the Rhinos, moving up towards the Intercessors. The damaged smoking Rhino moving through, just been able to get within 3 inches of the objective here. So if Matt can take out my Intercessors with his firepower, his OBSEC squad will be able to steal this from me. At the moment I have more models. He did move a couple of guys into the ruins here, so they won't be able to shoot at me, but they will be able to grab the objective if he's able to whittle me down to 2 or 1 model. Nicely there. Start of the shooting phase. Do you want to roll to see if you can repair your Rhino? Which is something everyone forgets to do. So on a roll of a 6.
Oh, that's like 3 editions ago.
No, I think it still exists.
Oh, yeah. No.
Nope. Well, I may be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, it still exists. So with that, we move on. No psychic phase. We'll move on to the shooting phase, and I imagine a lot of firepower coming the way of the repulsor and the intercessors over here. Start off the shooting phase. The Centurions are going to put their hurricane bolters into the intercessors over here. So thanks to the bolter discipline rules, that's 12 shots each. So that's going to be 72 bolter shots with rerolls going into the intercessors. One of the Centurions is going to use Hellfire shells with his heavy bolter to fire at the repulsor. The rest of the heavy bolters are going into my intercessors over here. So Matt hoping that he's got enough firepower between the bolters over here and the hurricane bolters to deal with this intercessor squad, which seems entirely likely, and maybe plicking a few wounds and doing some damage off these guys here before my reserves can come in. So Matt has got 24 dice here, needs to roll 3 lots of this for the Centurions. First volley is going to be hitting on 3s and wounding, re-rolling 1s thanks to his nearby captain. A couple of re-rolls in there.
Take away all the 2s.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. So that's good going so far. We'll come back to you with the rest of the hits for the Centurions So hitting on 3s with his rerolls, that was 56 hits. He's now going to be wounding on 3s with rerolls, and the caveat, any 6s to wound are going to be an AP extra -1 for Storm of Fire.
That's right. Wounding on 4s, rerolling 1s, I think.
Sorry, wounding on 4s, rerolling 1s. I'm thinking about facing all the units.
2 of these plus 6.
So that's
picking up 2s and 3s.
Good number of wounds so far. And rerolling 1s, he's got 3 rerolls there, and a lot of 6s, unfortunately. After a great round of shooting with Centurions, that was 14 wounds at AP -1 and 18 wounds with no AP. So first of all, we're going to do 14 4-ups. This could be a very dead squad here. Let's see what I can do. So that is 1, 2, 3.5. So that's 7 wounds. So that's 3.5 dead already. And then 18 3-ups. Oh, this is a lot of firepower. Oh, and that is not good. That is horrific. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is 9 dead intercessors just from those hurricane bolts. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Out of 18 saves, that is 11 failed 3-ups. So that takes me down to 1 guy remaining. That's a pretty good start for the Ultramarines and a pretty horrific start for the Dark Angels. Good to see my armour saves or my rolling's gone just as well. I can't believe that. 18 wounds and I fail 11 3-ups. That is going to be pretty punishing for the Dark Angels on Ultramarines turn 1. Rest of the shooting, so the Hellfire managed to hit the Repulsor, taking 2 mortal wounds from it. Heavy Bolter's doing great work and my armour saves continuing. So the Heavy Bolter's managed to do 17 wounds on this unit in cover, and most of them were getting a 3-up armour save because I'm in cover. I managed to fail 11 once more to kill 5 and wound 1. I'm going to see if any of these guys get to fire back. So 5 perished, and I've got the Ancient nearby. And 3 get to fire back, so 3 are going to fire. The only unit they can really fire at are the Centurions, because they don't have, the ones that are moved don't have line of sight of the tactical squad over here. So I'm going to have to fire. And because I did move last turn, I'm still only getting a single shot thanks to Bolter Discipline. And that is no hits. Oh, the dice are not liking me today. So that is 5 dead and 1 wounded over here. And that is only 1 unit fired so far in Matt's army. So that is, if the game continues this way, it's going to be a real quick game for the Dark Angels.
That is most of my firepower there.
That is a lot of the firepower. So we're going to come back, see this tactical squad can finish off the last Intercessor over here, although he may play around, try and kill him off with something else and put this bolter fire into the repulsor. Maybe he'll do some damage there. We'll see, hopefully,
maybe the lieutenant.
See what the rest of the firepower can do, and hopefully not lead to too much damage for me. Firepower, the Rhinos firing over this Dreadnought, doing 3 wounds, and I took 1. Next we're going to fire the Land Raider. The Storm Bolter's going to go into the Intercessors in the ruins over here. Heavy Bolter's going to go into this lone Intercessor, try and finish him off, and the last cannon's going into the Repulsor to try and do some damage to that. So what are we firing first?
Storm Bolter.
Storm Bolter into my squad.
So 3's rerolling 1s.
Yep. That's 1 hit.
1 hit and a
4
rerolling
rerolling
1s.
That's a wound, and I do get a 2-up armour save. Yep, so they're fine. Heavy Bolter into my lone Intercessor.
So twin Heavy Bolters, 6 shots.
Yes, twin Heavy Bolter.
So 3's rerolling 1s again, then 3's rerolling 1s again.
Yep.
Rerolling that one. So 6 hits.
Yep. And then that's pretty good.
So it's
3
did -1.
vehicles get Stormfire as well?
I will have to double check.
Yep, so double checking, vehicles do get Storm of Fire, so that is AP -2, and I'm in cover, so that's a 4-up save. And that's enough. That's enough to save him. And then 3 minus 1. So 3 ups. No, he takes it. He loves it. He takes them all. So, now we come to the big deal.
Last cannons.
Yeah, last cannon. If you could do as well as I did, that would be good for me.
3's re-rolling ones.
Yes. No minuses.
Not
So that
re-rolling
is...
twos.
No, so that is 3 hits to start with. And then 3s again, re-rolling 1s. That is 3 wins. And 1 is AP minus 4. So I'm not going to get a save for one of them. And I'm going to get 2 6-ups. No, so that is 3 lascan shots go through. This could be nasty here.
How many wounds did it start with?
I believe it has 16 to start with, so it's 14 remaining.
We can do a 3d6. Not very much.
Not very much.
I think I will CP one of them.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
Take one away and burn that dice.
So that's
for now for a total.
That's cocked. So that's 9 wounds in total. With the lascan, so that's 11 wounds. I believe that's got 5 remaining. Good round of fire there, not enough to kill me, but to severely damage me, which is pretty good. And we'll do the rest of the fire from the Tactical Marines, seeing if they can take out the remaining Intercessor. And there's a couple of melter guns in there, might actually be able to finish off the Repulsor as well. So the rest of the shooting from these tactical squads, the unit at the back here, the missile launcher fired into the Repulsor, hitting but failing to wound. Rest of the bolters managed to do 6 wounds on the Intercessor and doing 6 wounds, but I made all but 1 2-up armour save. Then the next squad, the 2 that could see the Repulsor and couldn't see the Intercessor fired the bolters at the Repulsor, managing to take 1 wound from it, so taking it down to 4. The rest fired their bolters in at my Intercessor, doing 5 wounds, but I made all my saves. The melter gun then missed them. The missile launcher firing the crack missile hit, but then failed to wound on a 2+. So we're going to move into the charge phase, and I think this poor Intercessor is going to see some charges. So which unit's going to go in?
That squad, tactical squad there is the only one really.
Yeah, so the tactical squad in front, even if he doesn't kill them, it'll allow him to swamp the objective and to steal that from me, because at the moment we both have 1 OBSEC model in range, so he needs to be able to do this. So roll up your charge, we'll do the Overwatch off camera, but I'm not going to be able to stop the unit.
Probably a 3 or a 4 will be more than enough.
Yeah, 6 is going to be more than enough to get in. So we'll do the Overwatch off camera and come back to you with the fight phase. Moved the chargers, we've done the pile in moves. Unfortunately, keeping them out of range so that my lieutenant can't pile in. So we're going to get 11 attacks coming in at my Primaris Sergeant on 1 wound remaining, hitting on 3s, decent roll, wounding on 4s, oh, that is not good, that's only 2 wounds, so if I can survive this, I can deny him first blood.
Twice as many as we need.
Yes, so 3 ups, that is 1 failed. Let's CP this. So I think it's worth it to deny you a point for first blood.
And the objective.
And, well, you'll get the objective because you've got more OBSEC in range. So we'll re-roll this. And it's a pass. Do I get the CP back? I do not. So I'm down to 5 CP. But that does keep my guy alive. He will get 3 attacks back. All hit. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. No AP.
3s.
So 1 dies, so they charge in, manage to kill,
somebody gets killed,
doing no damage and manage to kill 1. So at the end of the phase, I've only got 5 CP left, but I think it's worth to spend the 2 CP in order to deny you first blood, first strike even. So do I keep one of them? I do, so I'm down to 4 CP at the end of this turn. At the end of your turn, you're going to score your you're going to score 2 of your objectives. You're going to get secure objective 1 because you've now got more bodies. You're going to get secure objective 5, and you are starting to defend objective 2, but no first blood. And my hidden card was defend objective 6, which I'm currently sitting on back here. Yeah. So that takes it to, at the end of turn 1 for the Ultramarines, 2 points to the Ultramarines and 4 points to the Dark Angels. We are playing first strike in this, so nobody can get that, as we haven't killed a unit in the first turn. But at the moment, the Dark Angels have 2 point lead, going into turn 2, but have been severely whittled down thanks to the death of the...
Although that intercessor has now made 18 saves out of 19 rolls.
He did. He has made... I think he makes up for the horrendous saves the rest of his unit did.
Made of adamantium.
I think he's got all the power armour from that unit. The rest of them weren't winning. So we'll come back to you with the cards I decide to play and the movement phase for turn 2 for the Dark Angels. Start at turn 2 for the Dark Angels, and from my card of 5 hands I've picked Secure Objective 4 and Secure Objective 5. Objective 4 is sitting here, so I have the unit on that, that should be fine. 5's over here, I'm probably not going to get it, but I can discard it. And my secret card for this turn is going to be this one. So I'll come back to you with the movement phase, and I'm going to probably be bringing in some reserves at the end of this turn as well. Just an amendment from last turn, I did roll a morale check for these guys here, passing with my reroll, thanks to And They Shall Know No Fear. In the movement phase, turn 2 for the Dark Angels, the Lone Intercessor on a wound, falling back, the Primaris Master and Lieutenant moving up on the squad here, the Intercessors, the Hellblasters moving out to get into range of his Centurions over here, the Repulsor staying where it is. Not really worth moving it. Intercessors in my backfield moving over to get line of sight in his tactical squad. Dreadnought moving up over here towards the Rhinos, and the squad here remaining stationary to get the most out of their firepower. The end of the turn, the only reserves I brought in were the Inceptors, who landed just over 12 inches away from the squad here, hoping to put some firepower in with their assault bolters and to stay out of Auspex scan range. So I've decided to keep the Death Watch and the Reavers in reserve for now. I really don't think bringing them in. I could use their poison shells to try and deal with these guys, but as we saw, pretty potent firepower, and I think Auspex scan from them would prove pretty punishing. So I'm going to hopefully use the Hellblasters to try and take them out to begin with, and then I can bring them in, seeing what objectives I need to go for in my turn. So with that, we'll move on to the firepower. Starting my shooting phase, I'm going to fire the Hellblasters into the Centurions, and I'm going to spend a CP on Weapons of the Dark Age to give me an extra damage. Because it's turn 2, I can roll to see if I get that back, which I do not, so I'm down to 3 CP, and I am going to overcharge, so I can do, even though I'm still wounding on 3s because they are toughness 5, the extra damage, so 3 damage per shot, I think is going to help me a lot when it comes to these guys, and I'm getting to reroll 1s thanks to my Master being nearby. So the first unit is going to be hitting on first guy. That's 1 hit. Second guy, that's 1 hit. Oh, I need to do better than this. Third guy, that's 2 hits. Fourth, rerolling 1s, is another 2 hits. Fifth, nope, that's 1 dead. Sixth is a miss. Seventh, rerolling the 1, is another hit, and 8th and final guy, so that's 1 dead and a good number of hits. I'm now going to be wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s thanks to the Lieutenant being nearby. So that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 wounds at AP minus 4. So that's going to be 6 up saves, each one of these doing 3 damage.
1 for cover, 5 ups.
So that's 11 wounds, they're in cover, so it's going to be 5 ups.
Each one kills someone?
Each one killing, so I think that is a dead unit.
That is all dead.
That's all dead intercessors.
Saves
so
a lot of time on morale checks.
It does, so that's a good round of shooting there for me, and I do lose 1 from the squad, so that was a big threat needing to be taken care of.
And why I should bring a librarian to give them an invul save, although that's only a 5 up invul anyway. So
yeah, invul save's good, and ancient is pretty handy for getting the shoot back. So we'll do the rest of the shooting. I'm thinking the Dreadnought's probably going to go into one of the Rhinos, and the rest of my firepower I think is going to try and deal some damage to these tactical squads over here. So if I can deal with them and take them out. End of the shooting phase. Now it's Matt's turn for horrendous armour saves. The Inceptors and both squads of Intercessors firing in at his tactical squad and killing them. The Lieutenant and the Master firing in at the tactical squad here. Repulsor putting all his firepower into the tactical squad, but thanks to a combination of hitting on 5s and the cover, only 4 from that squad being killed in the meantime, although fit for a charge. Over here, Dreadnought firing in at the Rhino, doing no damage at all. A couple of wins through, but we're all saved. In the charge phase, we're going to get a charge from the Hellblasters, the Master, and the Lieutenant and the tactical squad to try and wipe them out. And I think I'm going to go, I need a 10-inch charge for the Rhino to get the Dreadnought to get into the Rhino. So I think we're going to go for that. We'll do the Overwatch off camera, but first off, we'll see opportunistic charge. Can the Rhino get in and stop him from defending that? Although if I destroy it, he'll probably still get it. And 8, that's not enough to get in, so that's fine. Over here, the Hellblasters, I think needing a 5 or 6 to get in. And that's a 3. Let's see if that's enough. It's not, so let's CP reroll one of these. Yeah, 7's enough to get in. So I'm down to 2 CP. Do I get it back? Because I haven't this round already. I do not. So I'm down to 2 CP. And we'll do the other charges for the Lieutenant and the Captain once I've moved them and see what I can get in. In the fight phase, the Master, Lieutenant and the Hellblasters made it into combat. Start off the fight phase with the Primaris Master is going to use his Autostorm Gauntlet. So 5 attacks, hitting on 3s, because I'm -1. So that is 4 hits. Wounding on 2s though. Rerolling 1s thanks to the Lieutenant. That's cocked there. So that's 4 wounds, AP -3. So
6s.
6s. No, so 4 die.
4 dead.
So we'll remove the casualties from here.
Right, does it?
So Matt choosing not to spend the 2 CP to interrupt with the squad. So I'll do the Lieutenant next, hitting on 2s. All hit, wounding on 4s and re-rolling 1s because of himself. No, only 2 wins, so you might survive. 3 up armour.
3 ups. Not made any of these so far.
No, 1. So 1 remaining. We'll do the attacks from the Hellblasters. See if I can finish off the squad. Rest of the attacks from the Hellblasters managed to take out the last Tactical Marine to get them into cover over there, which will be useful. So no morale test required, because I didn't really do, wiped out whatever I shot at. The end of my phase, I will score Secure Objective 4, and I will choose to discard Secure Objective 5, because I'm probably not going to be getting to that with any ease with the Land Raider on it. And at the end of my turn, Matt will also score Defend Objective 2, because I wasn't able to get to the Rhino. So at the end of the Dark Angels turn 2, that takes it to 5 points to the Dark Angels to 4 for the Ultramarines. So a pretty good second turn for me, managing to deal with the big threat of the Centurions and the 2 tactical squads, but I do have a Land Raider, a Watch Captain, and plenty of Tactical Marines still sitting around here. So we'll come back to you with the cards drawn for the Ultramarines on turn 2. Start of the second turn, Matt chooses Defend Objective 3, Secure Objective 4, no prisoners. 3's over here. 4's currently been held by my Intercessors, so he could have problems getting there. No prisoners, he's got some choice targets, he's got this Dreadnought, his last cans might be able to take out. He's got my lone Intercessor over there, he's got a unit of 5 Intercessors over here, so could score big for this. We'll come back to you with his movement phase. Movement phase for the Ultramarines, this Rhino moving up in the Hellblasters, looking to get a charge off in them. I will be able to fall back and shoot with my Intractable Stratagem, but that's going to cost me my last 2 CP. So unless I get one back from my Warlord trait, I will not be able to do Weapons of the Dark Age and do some damage to the Land Raider. Land Raider moving up to secure this objective, joined by the Captain and Lieutenant. Over here, the tactical squads deciding to disembark hoping to do some damage to the Dreadnought with their melter weaponry and their missile launchers. The 2 Rhinos just moving off to get into place for objective scoring next turn. Start the shooting phase. Who's going to do what?
Right, I'm thinking the Rhino there, throw his Stormbolter, both Rhinos throw his Stormbolters into the Hellblasters.
Yep.
Then I'll come over to here. I'm going to see how much damage these Marines can do to that Dreadnought. In a perfect world they'll drop it, but it's
I think you'll be struggling,
unlikely.
yeah.
Statistically unlikely, but you never know. Hopefully then the Land Raider's then in a position to put some las cannons into him. And then depending on how it goes, some of the guns that are left over, try and knock over that Adamantium Intercessor over there.
Yes,
Is,
we
my
did
only
quite
options.
well.
And I've got some other Stormbolters and stuff around just to try and think off.
Yeah, hoping to try and, if you can get 3 kills this turn, you can get your D3 for no prisoners. So looking to take out the Dreadnought, the Lone Intercessor, and
Dreadnought priority 1.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he's going to eat everything over here.
Okay, so who are we starting with?
I think we're just going to start over here with this Rhino.
We'll start with the Rhinos and we'll come back to you and see if they cause any casualties. Rhinos, over on this flank, putting a lot of firepower into the Hellblasters, but the cover saves helped me, so none fallen. Next, we're going to go on to the tactical squads, firing in at the Dreadnought, hoping to take him out, and then he can use the Land Raider to try and finish off that Repulsor and get a kill. So what are we firing first?
Okay, we'll go this squad here, the one that's got the melter gun in it.
Yep.
So a single melter gun.
Hits.
And he's in half range because we've set it up, so roll 2 and pick the highest.
No, that's for damage.
That's for damage,
so
sorry.
wounding on 3s.
Wounding on a 3.
That's a wound. I don't get an armour save because it's AP -4. So you roll 2d6, pick the highest damage. 5, that's a good
5,
start.
please.
So he's taken 6 wounds in total to start with. Your missile launcher, crack missile,
Hitting
on a 4 because you moved. That is a hit. Wounding on a 3. No. Are you CPing that? You've got a few left. I think that's a wise choice. So that takes you down to 3 CP. Oh, and that is unfortunate. So we'll do the rest of the bolter rounds off camera, and I'll check how many wounds he has remaining. Rest of the bolters from this first tactical squad firing in, managing to plink off a wound. Other tactical squad fired. The missile launcher failing to hit, but the bolters managed to take a couple, and then the Rhinos adding another. So far he's taken 10 wounds. He has 3 remaining. So next we're going to look in at the Land Raider. Opening fire. So what's...
I think the Stormbolter definitely into the Adamantium Intercessor. I think the Heavy Bolter also into him.
I think that's wise. You need to kill at least 1 unit to get no prisoners.
And then
he's got 1 rune.
Minimum 1 set of las cannons into him. The second set of las cannons, I'm wondering whether to be cocky and fire the
Oh, I think that's risky, but it's your choice. But if you fluff it, he's going to survive to charge.
He's going to eat me on that. I think I'm going to do all the las cannons into him.
Don't want to influence you. I think that's probably wise.
That's my instinct.
Just in case you flub them, in which case he is severely damaged, but he can still do some work and at least tie. Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we have a Stormbolter.
Yep.
Into the Intercessor. 3s.
That's 2 hits.
But it's now
4s to wound.
Rerolling 1s for the.
That's 1 wound going through.
For the Lieutenant.
And he's dead.
And
so
he's dead.
It finally falls, but the heavy bolter shots are wasted.
Heavy bolter. I was going to put 6 rounds into his face anyway because of his performance last time.
Yep. So we've got las cannons now. 4 shots hitting on 3s.
3s. Rerolling 1s. So 4
People will be screaming at me now that I influenced you poorly. But
3s now.
Yep. 3s rerolling 1s. Oh, okay. Yeah. I might have led you down the wrong path there.
He's very dead.
6s, unless I get incredibly lucky here. Yeah, he's dead. He cannot survive.
He's dead.
Does he blow up? He doesn't, but he's not in range anymore. So that is 2 points so far. I don't think you're going to get a 3rd kill.
No.
You really don't have the firepower left for that.
Assault phase now.
Assault phase, so we think the Rhino.
Into the Hellblasters.
Rhino's going to go into the Hellblasters.
I think we'll do both of them into it. Is there any
You
point?
may as well. We can.
No, yeah, I will, because
Okay.
it might be the difference between knocking the wind off or not.
That's true. We'll do the Overwatch off camera. No other charges, I presume.
No, it's nothing
We'll
else.
do the Overwatch off camera, and you don't need to roll because you're going to be in. So we'll do the Overwatch. I'm not going to bother overcharging because the odds of actually killing one are slim, and I don't want to take the risk losing any more before I can fall back and try and do some damage to this Land Raider. So we'll come back to you with any damage caused and the fight phase for this. Damn, I should have overcharged there. I actually managed some great hit rolls, managed to put 5 wounds. Obviously the undamaged Rhino was going to charge first in case the 1 on 2 wounds got clipped with lucky hit. But I actually managed to do 5 wounds. Had I overcharged, probably would have destroyed that. Might have destroyed the other rather than waste my CP, but there we go. The odds of that were incredibly slim. So both those Rhinos are going to make it in. We'll do the fight phase off camera because odds are we're not going to do anything, and we'll come back with the cards scored for Ultramarines at the end of turn 2. In the fight phase, the Rhinos putting their attacks in, doing no damage. The Interceptors, the Hellblasters actually doing okay, taking 1 wound off each Rhino, so leaving 1 on 1 wound remaining and 1 on 4. But they're going to survive and force me to use my CP. The end of the turn, we're going to get no prisoners. And we'll begin defending objective 3. Do you want to keep secure 4 or discard 4?
I'm going to discard it.
It's going to discard secure 4, it's probably wise because it's over here. And I will also score defend 4, which was one of my hidden objectives. Give units sitting on it right here. End of turn 2, it is 7 points to the Dark Angels and 5 points to the Ultramarines. But I think still a lot to play for. He's sitting on this defend 3. Which he's scored it for 1 turn. I could move up and stop him from scoring this, but if I do destroy it, his Sternguard will probably get the objective. Units sitting back here, not really doing a lot, but going to put their firepower into Tactical Marines. So I'll come back to you with the cards I draw for turn 3. Starting my 3rd turn. Cards I'm choosing to activate this turn are Overwhelming Firepower, Behind Enemy Lines, and Mission Critical Objective, which will be number 1, which I currently control. But however, if I move off my units, this Rhino is going to control that now, so I might have to keep some Hellblasters in range of it in order to secure this, unfortunately. So what I'll do, behind enemy lines, I've got enough reserves, I'll probably bring 1 in behind to get that. Overwhelming Firepower, I really hope to score. If I do not, I think that'll be big trouble for me. Come back to you with my movement phase and my reserves for Dark Angels turn 3. End of the movement phase, I fall back with my Hellblasters, and I'm going to spend my last 2 CP on Intractable to allow them to shoot. Do I get 1 back? I do! Which is good news for me because I get to use Weapons of the Dark Age now on them. My Lieutenant moving in to hold this objective and hopefully throw a crack grenade at this unit on 1 wound. The Repulsor moving up here to get line of sight on the Rhino of 1 wound, hoping to take that out and get me that objective. The Intercessors over here moving up to get into range. The Inceptors moving up to join them. Now my reserves, the Reavers coming in 9 inches away from this Rhino to get behind enemy lines. And then some nice Death Watch tricks. I deployed this unit of Intercessors 13 inches away from the Tactical Squad, so they can use their Kraken rounds to still be in rapid fire, but are at AP -2. So causing me some damage there. Getting them and the Captain deployed to target this Tactical Squad and hopefully not suffer Auspex scan in return because I'm out of range. So with that, we'll move on to the shooting phase. Shooting phase, we'll start with the Lieutenant in the ruins, putting a crack grenade into that damaged Rhino. He hits. Rerolling 1s because of himself. He fails to wound. So next we'll move on to the Repulsor, putting all its firepower into the Rhino on 1 wound. So the twin last cannons and the last talons are hitting on 5s. That is no hits. No hits for them. The 2 Crack Storm, no hits. The Icarus Iron Hail, no hits. The other Iron Hail Stubber, 1 hit. Wounding on 5s, no wounds at all for this. Annoyingly, this Rhino has taken most of the firepower of that. So unfortunately, we'll move on to the Hellblasters now. Hellblasters are going to open fire on this Land Raider, and I'm going to spend my last CP on Weapons of the Dark Age. I've already got one back, so I can't get any more. We are going to overcharge. So the first guy, 1 hit. Second guy, 2 hits. Third guy, 2 hits. Fourth guy, 2 hits. Fifth guy, 1 hit. Sixth guy, oh, double 1, that's no good. Another 2 hits though with the rerolls for the Primaris Master, and the last and 7th and last guy kills 1. So 1 dies, but I do get a good number of hits coming through. Forced to wound, rerolling 1s. That is 1. Nope, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8 wounds at AP -4, so that's 6 up saves. So unfortunately, I think this is going to hurt that Land Raider.
5 ups for us.
AP -4, so 6 ups.
-4s.
-4, 6s. So
6s,
yeah. So unfortunately, getting that CP back for Weapons of Dark Age is hurt here, because that's 3 damage per full wound, needing 6s.
Make a lot of these. Yeah, he's dead.
He makes 1, so that's
21 wounds.
21 wounds. Unfortunately, does he blow up?
I will see.
He does not. So unfortunately, that is a lot of damage there for the Dark Angels going
10
through.
identical Sternguard inside.
Oh, that is
well.
4. Do you want to reroll one of them, or are you saving your CP?
No, I'm going to probably.
So that's 4 die in that explosion. That is most unfortunate. That was a horrendous round of shooting there for the Dark Angels. So after the repulsor fired, the intercessors, Deathwatch intercessors, fired their Kraken bolts. So 2 shots each in at the squad here. I did say, so I should clarify, my mission tactics, I went for elites, so I wasn't getting rerolls. So 20 guys shot, I got 13 hits, wounding on 4s. I only rolled 2 wounds, killing 1 in one of the tactical squads, which was pretty horrendous. The intercessors then added their firepower, doing pretty poorly again, only killing another 3. The Inceptors here, again, only hit with about 50% of their attacks, and then wounded with less than 50% on 3s, killing a couple from the other squad. So that's pretty much all my firepower done. The Reavers can fire, so we'll put the Reavers, 6 shots from the Reavers with their pistols into the Rhino, because that's the only thing nearby. So that's 4 hits, 5 to wound. 1 wound, AP -1, their heavy bolt pistols. Nope, takes a wound. So what I thought was almost a guaranteed overwhelming firepower, thanks to some horrific wound rolls from the Death Watch. Oh no, I did. Sorry, I got the overwhelming firepower. I did kill the Land Raider, so that's 1. I will get that. Captain, he's only got 12-inch range with his Stormbolt Gauntlet. So what we'll do is we'll move on to the charge phase. No one over here can charge because I specifically deployed out of range. We're just keeping the Master can put 3 bolt pistol shots into the squad here. So we might do that. But in the charge phase, what I'm going to do is charge the Master and the Lieutenant into the wounded Rhino over there. Hellblasters cannot charge because they fell back. They are allowed to shoot through it because of the stratagem, but they cannot charge. So we'll put a few bolt shots in, and we'll come back to you with the charges for the Dark Angels on turn 2. Combat over here, the Master and the Lieutenant both make the in, so I do hold this objective, but let's see if I can kill it off. So I'm going to attack first with the Master with the Stormbolt Gauntlet, hitting on 3s, all hit, wounding on 3s. That is 4 wounds at AP -3.
So 6s.
So 6s.
I make 1. 3.
He makes 1, so 3. Does he blow up though?
Let's have a look.
He does not. So the Rhino is destroyed. towards the end of the turn, we will need some morale tests. Oh, should also say, Master managed to fire into Stern Guard and did a killed one, so taking them down to 5 models. So they've lost 5. Into the morale phase for the Ultramarines. So the Stern Guard lost 5 due to Ultramarines. They are leadership 10. So we will be looking for.
On a 6, I think, aren't they?
Nope. So they pass.
Fine.
This squad over here, 1 lost 4. So they can fail on a 5. Oh no, so 4, 8, they are fine. The other squad lost 2, they can't fail.
3.
Oh, 3, sorry, they lost 3, so but they still think they can fail still. No. So that's fine. So, at the end of my 3rd turn, I will score mission critical for 1 point. I will get overwhelming because I destroyed the Land Raider, and I will get behind enemy lines for the Reavers. So that puts me to 10 points. Rather lackluster shooting phase, but
apart from the Hellblasters.
Apart from the Hellblasters, managed to kill the Land Raider, but now I'm out of CP, so if they get tied up in combat, they cannot fall back and shoot again. So we'll see what cards Matt chooses to put into turn on his 3rd turn, and what the Ultramarines can do to take on the Dark Angels reserves. At the end of my turn, I score mission critical objective for 1 point, overwhelming firepower for 1 point, and behind enemy lines for 1 point, giving me 10. Matt will also get defend objective 3 because he's held it for 2 turns. So that takes it to 10 points to the Dark Angels to 7 for the Ultramarines. And Matt has his turn in hand. So we'll see what cards from his hand he decides to draw and what he can do to come after the reserves for the Dark Angels and Deathwatch. Turn 3 for the Ultramarines. Matt has gone for Supremacy, which he should be able to get. Defend 5 and secure 2. 2 he's currently sitting on with his tactical squad, or he can move a Rhino up. 5 is over here, giving his Rhino the chance to get to it, to do some damage. And Supremacy, hold the objectives, is entirely likely with his army here. So we'll come back to you with his movement phase and see where he decides to go after the Deathwatch and Dark Angels. Movement phase for the Ultramarines, the Rhino moving up in the Hellblasters along with the Captain and the Lieutenant. Over here, Rhino moving up towards the objective, and the other Rhino moving towards to maybe get a charge in my Deathwatch if they survive. The squads here staying in place to secure objective 2 and to use the Bolter Discipline. So with that, we will move on to the shooting phase for the Ultramarines on turn 3. So good roll with Supremacy and getting secure objective 2 could put Matt in the lead here, and he's probably going to do a lot of damage to the Deathwatch and the Hellblasters at this point.
I have made a bit of a schoolboy here though.
No, you've got a squad in.
Yeah, but if next turn
it's secure. It's squad. Secure 2, not defend 2. Oh, secure, you score at the end of your turn. So you have to hold 5 for 2 turns, yeah, which is going to be tricky if my Reavers can get a charge in.
Yeah.
But here you'll definitely score secure 2 and you'll definitely get Supremacy for this point. Okay. So who's going to start their firing?
I think we'll start over that side.
Yeah.
Tradition. So we'll 1 times Stormbolter into the Hellblasters.
2 times Stormbolters.
So 2 times Stormbolters.
You've got double Stormbolter on your Rhino.
And he is on the. Is he on the bottom profile now?
No, not yet. He's got 4 wins remaining, so he is hitting on 4s.
4s, so 4s.
Pretty average, actually. 4 hits.
Yeah, he would have been actually on rerolls, but he didn't roll any ones.
Nope, he's in range, so no. And then force the wins. Pretty good. 3 wins. That's enough to kill one. It will make your charge slightly longer.
That's what my entire army did in 1 turn.
That's true.
In fact, no, I haven't killed one of them. He self-immolated.
He did self-immolate.
Okay, the Stern Guard now. So
yep. Are you wanting to pop the +1 to win stratagem for 2 CP?
I think I probably will because there's not a lot else.
So I can't remember what that's called, but Stern Guard get a similar stratagem to the, or I should say Deathwatch get a similar stratagem to the Stern Guard, where he gets +1 to wind, so he will be getting 10 shots, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Oh, that is nasty.
Bad-handed dice.
That's very good. Oh,
10 hits.
that's where I should have my ancient with them, but unfortunately.
Would be 4s to wound.
So wounding on 3s now, rerolling 1s.
Because the Lieutenant Dan is there. So picking up 2s.
Yep, and 1 reroll. That's pretty good.
Many -2.
AP -2, so I'm needing 5 ups to save these guys. And I get 1, so that's 1, 2, 3 dead and a single wound. So let's put. Yes, those 3. We'll try and make the charge longer for your captain. Any more shooting coming in at them?
The pistol, I think, is it a 6-inch pistol or a grab pistol?
Grab pistol 6.
6, I think.
We'll double check the range of grab. This is where I probably should have the ancient over here, but as I was saying before, the problem with the Captain Gravis armour is there is not room. I'd be down to 7 intercessors, and I decided I wanted the extra one rather than taking the room.
Captain on a bike to chase them, maybe?
Yep. Captain is going to fire. He's going to get 4 shots. No, sorry, 8 shots, because he's twin.
Yeah.
No, sorry, twin bolter's 2 shots, so it's 4. It's 4 shots.
Yeah.
Into the Hellblasters to try and finish them off.
So he's rapid fire.
He's hitting on 2s. Yep, all hit. Wounding on 4s. Rerolling 1s. With 1 reroll. 2. So he's not going to finish them off, but he could kill 1 more. Which he does. I fail both. So that takes it to 1 remaining. On a single wound.
Now a single grab pistol round.
Yeah, you might not even need to make your charges.
Just in.
Grav pistols, as we were saying before, Grav has really died a death from 7th edition.
And I just put it on there for a laugh. So he hits on a
3 for a lieutenant.
So he misses.
He misses, so the Grav pistol still pretty useless.
Yeah,
so that's a good round of shooting there, taking the Hellblasters down to 1 model and a single wound. So morale's going to be an issue there. Next, we'll do the shooting over here off camera and see where Matt decides to go in against the Death Watch or the Dark Angels and what firepower they can do. Even though they're outside of rapid fire range, they didn't move, so they will be getting the bolter discipline for this turn. Actually, not a great round of shooting for the Ultramarines. The bolters all went into the intercessors, causing a single wound. The storm bolter from Rhino managing to finish him off. 2 missile launchers went into the Inceptors over here, only 1 hitting despite remaining stationary, and then failed to wound again. The Stormbolter over here going into the Reavers, doing 2 wounds, but thanks to cover made my saves. So not a great round actually. The Death Watch here still pretty good, but about to take a charge from the Rhino probably to shut down their firepower. So charge phase, I assume the Rhino's going into the Death Watch.
He is. And
just the Death Watch or the Captain as well?
Just the Death Watch.
Just the Death Watch. And are you doing any charges over here?
The Rhino will go in first to do the...
Soak up the Overwatch.
And the boss is also going to try and charge.
Okay, we'll do this on camera, the Overwatch, because I'm going to overcharge, just to see. Nope, nothing, so no good there. But the Rhino's going to make it in, because he's pretty close. And we'll roll the charge for the Captain.
Okay.
Looks like he needs a 5 or a 6, but we'll measure it up.
Probably add an inch because of my racing nonsense. But
that's a 4, that's not going to be enough.
I'm going to have to use the last CP for that.
Is it worth it? I would probably save that for your Rhino. You've stopped him from shooting. I can't fall back and shoot, and you don't really... Morale might even kill him. I don't think you need to expose your Captain.
Yeah. That's fine, no, you're right.
I think, but it would be more... If your Rhino failed the charge and didn't shut down my firepower, I think that would be more.
Yeah.
So you don't need to kill the intercessor. You may even flee to morale, or your Rhino may get lucky. I don't think you need to waste your last CP on that.
So he's in
all honesty.
And over here,
yep,
probably needs a 6 to get in within an inch.
And he makes it anyway, so that's fine.
Just go there.
So he is going to shut down the firepower for my unit because I can't fall back and shoot.
You need to overwatch him though now.
I will do my Overwatch off camera, and we'll come back with the fight phase. Overwatch doing absolutely no damage. Did get 4 hits but no wounds on the Rhino. We'll do the attacks. Odds are it's not going to do much, but it is stopping them from shooting next turn, which is the big bonus here. So let's see what we're going to do. 3 attacks.
Okay, no 6s.
Nope, nothing. And over here, D3 attacks for the other Rhino. One attack.
6. Miss.
Misses. So, do the attacks back off camera. There's no point filming them. And we'll see what points Matt is going to score at the end of his turn 3. End of the fight phase. The Deathwatch able to do a single wound on the Rhino over here. The lone Hellblaster over there doing no damage. Morale phase, the Hellblaster lost 5 of his squad. The Sergeant will be leadership 8, I believe. We'll double check that. Leadership 8. That's a fail with a reroll. That's another fail. So the fleeing, thanks to morale. The lone Hellblaster falling back. Only lost 1 intercessor, so no morale over here. And at the end of his turn, Matt is going to score Secure Objective 2. He's going to get D3 for Supremacy. And he will start defending Objective 5. So do you want to roll your D3? 4. So that ties the game. That gives Matt 3 points this turn. And takes it to a tied game. At the end of turn 3, it's 10 points to the Dark Angels Deathwatch. And 10 points to the Ultramarines. We will see what cards I draw for my turn 4 and how I'm going to manoeuvre. So in my turn 4, the 5 cards I have in my hand are Defend Objective 2, Secure Objective 3, Defend Objective 1, Hold the Line, and No Prisoners. I'm going to choose to activate No Prisoners and Hold the Line. I should be able to get them quite readily. And I will choose, as Matt's out of the room, I'm going to choose to keep Defend Objective 1 a secret and keep my Lieutenant over here back at this objective and hopefully score that. So that will be my cards to score for turn 4 with the Dark Angels. Movement phase, I decided to keep the Deathwatch in combat so that even if the Rhino falls back, he cannot assault me again. The Deathwatch Primaris Captain moving up towards the Tactical Squad, needing a 7-inch charge. The Primaris Dark Angels Lieutenant advancing an extra 3 inches to move up and try and take on these in subsequent turns. Reavers moving up in the Rhino, so they were just over 12 inches away, so they're going to need an 8-inch charge through that crater. The Inceptors using their jump packs to move up here. I have to stop him scoring Defend 5 in my turn. So them hoping to make a good charge. The Pulsar staying where it is, and the Captain just moving up towards the Rhino, probably staying in that cover till he can make a break and go after the Sternguard over here. And this unit moving back to secure me, Hold the Line, to be fully in my deployment zone. So we'll move on to the shooting phase. We'll start with the Assault Bolters from the Inceptors into this tactical squad here. So that's going to be 18 shots, no rerolls to hit because I moved. And that's slightly better performance than last time. Very good actually, only 2 miss. So that's 16 hits. Wounding on 3s. That's pretty decent. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 wounds at AP -1 into the tactical squad.
10 4-ups.
And that's a horrendous roll there.
They're all dead.
That is going to kill the unit.
That's exactly dead, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
7 yet.
That's 7 fail. So yeah, enough to take out them. Pretty good dice roll there, I must say. So we'll do the rest of the firepower. See what damage I can do with my damaged repulsor and the rest of my intercessors and reavers over here. Rest of shooting, pistols from the unit here, doing 3 wounds on the Rhino, but with their Vengeance shells, but Matt made a couple of 6-up saves, so they take 1 wound from it. The Primaris Master firing at Tactical Squad, doing no damage. Squad over here firing in, managing to take them down to 4 models. The squad firing 5 shots, they move back into the Sternguard, actually managed to kill off a couple after some good rolls. The Repulsor fired everything at the Sternguard but did absolutely no damage because he was hitting on 5s, really proving to be his downfall there. Reavers managed to plink off a wound on the Rhino to take it down to 8. So in the charge phase, what we're going to do is declare a charge from the Primaris captain into the tactical squad, and we're going to put the Inceptors and the Reavers into this Rhino here, hoping to get enough into range to stop it defending. Over here, don't think I'm going to charge the captain into the Rhino, don't want to leave him exposed to the firepower, so Matt's going to have to move up if he wants to take on my captain, which he should be able to get into charge range with his captain on the bike, but I was going to struggle to get into range with only a 5-inch move. So we'll do the overwatch for the tactical squad here on camera, just in case something interesting happens. So 6 bolter shots, that's 1 hit, no wounds, and the missile launcher.
Missile launcher misses.
Unfortunately misses. And we'll roll up to see how far and get to go. 9 inches is going to be enough to get him in. And we'll do the Inceptors to start with.
Yeah, they can't not get in.
Yeah, with the change again back to the jump back rules, I can ignore the runes for moving vertically, but we will get to fire his overwatch with 8 shots. Yeah, so he's got 2 storm bolters on the vehicle.
It's 3.
2 hit, 3 hits, 5's to window.
1
wound. And it's saved because I'm in cover, and I get to go 7 inches, which is going to be enough. Let's see if the Reavers can join them. That's a 9. That's enough for the Reavers to get in as well. So the Rhino could, probably not in trouble. When I roll, I'll move the Reavers up, but I'll do this on camera. When they are within an inch of a unit after the charge phase, on a roll of a 6 they take a mortal wound, the enemy unit. 1, so 1 mortal wound. I'm going to get all 3 into base contact, so that's the Rhino down to 7 wounds and 2 units after it. We'll come back to you after I've moved them with the fight phase. So Primaris Watch Captain gets 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s with his power sword. That is 4 hits, wounding on 4s with no rerolls because I chose my mission tactics as elites. So that is 2 only, but minus 3 AP.
6s.
2 6s. Nope, so 2 die. He hasn't wiped the squad out, but he has taken down a couple of them. We'll do the rest of the attacks off camera from the intercessors here and all of this squad over here, and we'll tell you, and we'll do the attacks back and see what damage that can cause. Deathwatch intercessors managed to put a couple of wounds on this Rhino, taking it down to 6. Tactical squad doing 2 wounds on the captain, but I've made both armor saves. Both Rhinos doing no damage. My Inceptors and Reavers doing some attacks on the Rhino and taking it down to 5 wounds remaining. So these Rhinos slowly being degraded, but still a lot of strength left. At the end of my turn, I'm going to score no prisoners for killing 1 tactical squad, and I'll get hold the line because there's no enemy units in my deployment zone, and I have 3 units at least in my deployment zone. No morale necessary for this tactical squad. They only lost 2, so not enough. No, they lost a few more than that, but I don't think they lost enough to force a morale test. So I'll keep my hidden card, and I'll score these 2 points, taking it up to 12 points to 10, going into Ultramarines turn 4. So cards from Matt's 4th turn. He's drawn defend objective. He still has defend objective 5. He's chosen to activate defend objective 1, which is over here next to Rhino with my captain, my master, and Primaris lieutenant over there. And he's chosen to keep 1 hidden from me. So what I'm going to do is just close my eyes just now and flip this over so you can see. Is that the right way up?
Yes, upside down. But
oh, okay. So that's his hidden card, which I cannot see. Scout's Honour. I've got my eyes closed. And that's what he's hoping to keep secret and achieve. So we'll come back to you with the movement phase. Ultramarines in a precarious position here. Both Rhinos tied up. This tactical squad's in trouble, but he's still got a fair bit over here. Certainly his captain and his lieutenant can do some damage, and he's still got a Rhino mobile. So we'll see what happens.
okay.
Movement phase, Ultramarines falling back because of the mission tactics, can shoot in at the watch captain here. The Rhinos choosing to stay in combat. They don't benefit from the chapter tactics, so no choice there. Just going to tie up my units. The captain moving up towards the ruins to probably take on my characters. The Lieutenant moving up while the Stern Guard remain in position to probably unleash some shots in at my intercessors over here. So who's going to start with the shooting phase?
I only have the Stern Guard really, and one.
And the tactical squad.
Tactical, so we'll go for tactical squad first because it'll be a lose
Yep.
if it hits.
What-
So he's on a 5 to hit with the missile launcher.
He's going for a crack.
Yeah, for a crack.
Yep.
On a 5, misses.
And he misses. And 2 bolter rounds.
2 bolter rounds.
1 hit.
1 hit, and on a 4. 1
Does
save to make.
wound. No, he takes it. He takes a wound, so falling back, taking a wound from the watch captain. Stern Guard.
Stern Guard, 6 of the fancy rounds into probably that's
Yep, the squad of intercessors over
that's
here.
one of the intercessors over there. So
3's to hit.
double check the range. I think it's in.
It's 30-inch range for Stern Guard. So yeah. So Stern Guard get the extra bolter range.
So 3's, and then
4's to wound.
4's re-rolling 1s.
Yep, you're in range of the Lieutenant. So that is 2 wins go through at -2. I am in cover, so that's going to be 4 ups. Nope, make them both on a 6. The captain, which is he going to fire in at the
I think he's going to
master
fire at
or the
your master,
lieutenant?
yeah, at your
He's
master.
master's toughness 5, lieutenant's only toughness 4,
Probably the lieutenant then.
but he will get a 2-up save.
Right. So it's 2 shots, isn't it? With the
No, it'll be
twin
4
bolter, 4
with his
shots.
twin bolter. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 4s. Nope. 2 wins. Both saved. They are fine right there.
Unconcerned.
So, with no more shooting.
Well, 1 storm bolter on that rhino. Have I fired that yet?
Oh, yeah, no, 2 storm bolters on the rhino.
So storm bolters on the rhino.
We'll do that off camera, see if the pistol's in range of anyone. I doubt it though, line of sight, and we'll come back with any potential charges for Ultramarines turn 4. In the charge phase, the only charge we're going to have the Space Marine Captain is going in to the Primaris Master. Just did the Overwatch, did 1 wound, which was saved, so you're going to make it in. Regardless, that's not going to be an issue. Anyone else going to charge? You want to try a long bomb charge with the Lieutenant?
I think I will, yeah, we'll go for that.
So,
He gets,
no Overwatch,
he gets a 6.
which might not be enough. We'll
Got
measure
1
that up.
CP left.
It's an 8-inch
I need
charge.
an 8. I'm going to redo it.
Okay.
Go for it. Last CP, got nothing else to do with.
Unfortunately, no, but
Lazy
you will have your captain in there doing some damage. No other charges. So we'll move straight on to the fight phase. This could be interesting, a deciding point in the game. So, Space Marine Captain with his Power Fist has got 4 attacks, hitting on 3s and re-rolling 1s. 1 re-roll. Oh, all 4 hit, that's good. I am toughness 5, so you're going to be wounding on 3s with the Power Fist.
Yeah, with no reroll because I'm 2mm short with the lieutenant.
Just short of the Lieutenant.
I could have done that with placement if I'd been smarter. But here we go.
That is 3 wounds. I have got a 4-up invuln. I make 2, so that'll be D3 damage with the Power Fist.
Take
2 wounds. That's not too shabby.
Take 2.
5 attacks back. Let's use the Autostorm Bonk Gauntlet. So I'm also hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. That's all hits for me. I'm wounding on 3s. I am in range of my Lieutenant. That's pretty good. That is 5 wins, but you have your Storm Shield saves.
3 ups. 3 go
You
through.
fail 3, but you do have the Shield Eternal, so this could help you out here. So that is going to be 3d3. That is going to be 1, 2, 4 wounds from
wounds.
your captain, thanks to the Shield Eternal.
Is that kill him or last one?
No, you shouldn't be
He's
dead
on 6,
from that.
So he's got 2 remaining.
2 wins remaining, so that is a drawn combat with no CP left. We'll do the Rhino combats. See if I can finally whittle these down a bit more. We'll do those off camera and come back to you with the scores for the end of Ultramarines turn 4. Finish off the fight phase. This Rhino managed to do 1 wound on an Intercessor. The Intercessor's doing no damage in reply. Over here, Reavers managed to take a couple of wounds from the Rhino, taking it down to the 3 remaining, where the Inceptors did no damage. Just discussing here, Matt didn't move them far enough away that I could have heroically intervened, but I completely forgot about that. So learning point for both of us, he has to fall back further away, and I have to remember that heroic intervention is a thing. So at the end of that turn, you are not defending any. Your secret objective, have you defended? You don't have to show me if you haven't scored it yet.
I didn't get it.
Are you choosing to discard any? Or from, it has to be active.
It has to be active. I will bin 5.
Yeah, 5's going to struggle. And I will also, my hidden objective was defend objective 1, which I have done at the moment because I've held it for 2 turns because you are unable to kill my captain. So that is going to take it to 14 points to the Dark Angels, to 10 points to the Ultramarines, going into the start of turn 5. My turn 5, I chose to pick up secure objective 6, defend objective 5, and secure objective 3. So I'm going to have to start moving my units towards some objectives and seeing which of the warlords can survive in the fight phase. End of my movement phase, my intercessors move back to secure that objective. The intercessors and the ancient advancing only a couple of inches, unfortunately, to go after objective 3. The lieutenant moving up to help out the rhino, while the Primaris watchmaster, captain, moving up there, and way over this side, my lieutenant moving up to help out the captain in the combat. We'll start with the shooting phase. We will put the repulsor. We'll start off with the captain, who's taking a wound, putting his shots into the tactical squads. We'll do the Hellfire shells. Oh no, we'll do the Vengeance shells actually. So 2 shots, hitting on 2s, wounding on 4s. That's 2 wounds at AP -3, so 6s. They fall, so he takes out the tactical marines. We'll do the rest of the shooting. We'll put the pistols from the intercessors into the rhino, pistols from the reavers into the rhino, and a few shots from the repulsor and the intercessors over here into the Stern Guard squad to see if I can kill any of them off. Shooting phase, pistols with the Vengeance rounds, managing to plink a couple of wounds off this rhino, taking it down to 4. Over here, the rhino's doing a wound, taking it to 2. Completely forgetting that because the Inceptors are fly, they could have fallen back and shot, so my mistake there. I need to get more used to this army. Makes up for it though, the intercessors over here firing at the Stern Guard, doing 3 wounds and some horrible saves from Matt. He failed all 3. The repulsor actually managed to hit with 3 of its las cannons on the rhino, killing that, and my pistol from the master doing no damage into his captain there. So over here we will charge in with the lieutenant there, who makes it in with an 8. We'll go slightly out of sequence though. I know charging units normally fight first, but we'll do the big combat because the lieutenant will strike first, but then my first option to choose will be the Primaris Master. And once again, completely forgetting my rules, his relic means that characters strike last. So your captain would have struck last turn, but he didn't die. So that doesn't make any influence at all. But I will choose to do my attacks first in this case. So hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s, that was a drop dice, and then wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s. That is 3 wounds into your Storm Shield.
3 ups to stay alive. Makes 2, 1 through.
1 through. Probably should have saved that CP for...
Yeah, it could still... What do you need, a 5 or 6?
5 or 6 will kill him. No, 4. Shield Eternal halves that, so he's down to 1 wound remaining. And once again, completely forgetting to charge in with my lieutenant there. So once again, another error on my part. That's alright, no, it's my error, we'll keep it going.
You did charge because the lieutenant hits first, then the captain was your first pick of a non-charging unit.
Oh, I meant this lieutenant. I rolled to charge with this lieutenant. Completely forgot about the one sitting over there. So that's fine, that's my error, we'll keep that. We'll do the rest of the attacks off camera to see if these rhinos survive, and then we'll come back to you with the attacks for the Space Marine captain. Combat over here, the Death Watch and the Dark Angels Lieutenant taking this round on 2 wins. The Reavers and Scepters actually managing to finish off this Rhino, but it did not explode, keeping me on this objective. And we'll take you now. Foolishly, didn't charge in my Lieutenant to take off his final wound, although he'd be struggling to do it anyway. Let's see, my Primaris Master has taken 2 wins. Let's see what can be done here. You have 4 attacks.
4 attacks.
Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s. That is only 2 hits though. Wounding on 3s because of my Gravis armour. And he's just out of range. He fails. So that is... My captain has taken 2 wounds and yours is down to 1 remaining. So... At the end of my turn, I will score secure objective 6 to take me up to 15 points. I've started defending 5 and I'm on my way to getting 3. So that is 15 points to 10 at the end of Dark Angel's turn 5. His 5th turn, Matt chooses to activate Mission Critical Objective. He also has Defend Objective 1 in play and a hidden card, which I do not know what he's after. So do you want to roll for Mission Crit? You're hoping for like a 3 here, I think. And that's a 2, so that is over here. That is going to be difficult to get to. Although you could... Oh no, your Rhino doesn't have enough move to fall back to it, because he's so damaged. So we'll see what he decides to do for his movement. I think one of them will be moving your Lieutenant into range.
It's just 2 mils will do it.
Yeah. And to attack against my captain, which unfortunately he will be striking last because I remember that relic. Movement phase, the Rhino staying in combat and the Lieutenant. Very few models left here for the Ultramarines. The Lieutenant moving up to put in a charge on here. There will be no shooting because the captain doesn't have a pistol and the Lieutenant can't see through the wall or shoot at my master. Although he's probably able to shoot my Lieutenant. You can probably see my Lieutenant there.
I think we're playing that whole wall as a wall, aren't we?
Okay, that's fine. Well, no, we've got the doorway because your biker wouldn't be able to charge otherwise, but I'm happy with that if you want to shoot through with your grav pistol.
I'll fire a grav pistol shot, which misses.
Which misses. So, combat phase we'll move on to.
So I'm last.
Charging? You charging the Lieutenant in?
Yeah, I'll just charge him in. So
yeah, he'll make it in, but thanks to the Eye of the Unseen...
So he's going to pile round so that if it all goes mental he can...
Yeah.
It's got 12 inches.
So thanks to the Eye of the Unseen, he will not be able to fight just now. So you'll pick the first unit, which will be the Rhino. Rhino getting a single attack, doing no damage. The next unit I will choose to activate will be my Primaris Master, who will be attacking the Captain. And that is 2 2s, so that's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. Rerolling 1s. That is only 1 wound. Terrible rolling for me. If you can save this.
This is on your map.
Yep. You've got...
No CPs, 3 up to live.
That is survived. He will survive that turn. And I will not get to heroically intervene because you've tied up my Lieutenant. You chose to multi-charge them both and have now got him tied up in combat. So we will do... the attacks from my Lieutenant while we're over here. I'll next choose him. He will attack your own Lieutenant, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, thanks to the Captain. Wounding on 4s, but he has no... that's 4 wounds, but normal armour. I don't have any special weapons, so you'll be getting a 3 up. I won't kill you.
I can feel this. No.
1. He takes 1. So we'll do the attacks from the Death Watch and the other Lieutenant on the Rhino. We'll do that off camera because we don't really need to see what's going on there. Let's do your attacks now. First attacks are going to be the Space Marine Captain into my Primaris Master. So that's 4 attacks. That is with a reroll. That is 4 hits. He will be wounding on 3s now.
Rerolling 1s.
He does 4 wounds. This could prove costly, that failed save. That is 2 failed saves. I have 4 wounds remaining, so 2d3 damage.
Which is when I'm going to wish I'd kept a CP.
That is 4. That's enough to do it. That is a dead Primaris Master, and that is Slay the Warlord. Now your lieutenant's attacks back into my lieutenant.
4 attacks, be hitting on 3s.
2s for lieutenant.
2s. Rerolling 1s.
Yep.
So 4 hits.
Winding on 4s.
Rerolling 1s for himself.
That is 2 wins only. Power sword though.
Yeah.
So 2 6-ups. Nope, that is 2 wins taken. Over here, the lieutenant taking a wound from the rhino, the Death Watch taking another wound. It did blow up, doing 3 mortal wounds, so killing 2 of the intercessors and 1 wound on the lieutenant. The end of turn 5 for the Ultramarines, Matt scores Slay the Warlord and Assassinate was his hidden objective. He doesn't score mission critical, or he doesn't get defend objective 1. I also scored defend objective 5, holding it there, taking it to 12 points to the Ultramarines and 17 points for the Dark Angels. And I think Matt and I have decided we're going to call the game there, because I'm going to get secure 3, most likely, in my turn, and what's left in my hand. Defend 2, defend 3, which I will probably get. And I'll definitely get Line Breaker, so I don't think it's possible with your remaining cards to score to finish the game. But a really close game, swung a lot of ways there, and we'll come back to you. So final score is 17 points to the Dark Angels Primaris and 12 points to the Ultramarines. We'll come back to you with some after battle thoughts. So that was the game you've just seen. A win for the Dark Angels and Death Watch Primaris against an Ultramarine army. Just thinking about the battle there, really luck swinging both ways. You had a great first turn, got seized on, which is never good, but in all honesty, probably better for you, because you wouldn't have been in range to really shoot anyone. Yeah,
definitely. I think with having the rhinos running around, that should have given me opportunities late game. It didn't work out that way, but it was the right call.
And then absolutely horrendous saving throws for me. So basically 1 unit of intercessors melt to Hurricane Bolter Fire, and the other melt to Heavy Bolter Fire. Good start, really good start for you, I think, which unfortunately just couldn't capitalise on. Players in the match for me were definitely the Hellblasters.
Absolutely, 1,000 points plus of my army in 25 minutes.
First of all, taking out the Centurions, really good. Weapons of the Dark Age, one of the best stratagems the Dark Angels have. Going up to 3 damage for plasma is incredible. If it was only 2 damage, I still would have wiped most of the unit, but I wouldn't have killed them all. I would have had to devote a much more firepower. And then taking out the Land Raider, which was incredibly lucky for me, incredibly unlucky for you.
9 out of 10, 3 out of 4.
Well, no, what was lucky for me was that I spent my last 2 CP on Intractable, and I got 1 back from my Warlord, which allowed me to use Weapons of the Dark Age. Without Weapons of the Dark Age, I would have really hurt the Land Raider, but I wouldn't have killed it. Plus, as you say, I made like 7 out of 10 4-up wound rolls. So definitely for me, unit of the match were the Hellblasters.
Man of the match had to be the Intercessor, who made 16 out of 17 saves.
Yeah, after his entire unit just melted like paper, he would not fall. He took on a lot of firepower, which helped me, because you probably would have been able to target my lieutenant with a few units. Maybe taking him out. So some good firepower. Luck swung a bit both ways, but without being able to take out the Hellblasters, you did struggle.
Yeah, I never really got a shot at them. There's as many Hellblasters committed suicide as I killed almost. I think. I didn't get to shoot at them till after they'd done their work, which is fine then.
I'm wondering, had you left the Dreadnought alive and gone after the Hellblasters with the Land Raider, would it have made more of a difference in terms of... Because once you were able to shoot at them with the Stern Guard, they melted. They fell quite easily. As I say, just pure luck on my chance. Getting that CP back for Weapons of the Dark Age was key.
I think so. Yeah, just well played deployment of the Hellblasters, and sometimes it just does that. That's the.
We were saying before the reserves helped my mobility, getting any of the objectives. Your army is fast with the transports, but maybe lack of reserves causes some issues.
Yeah, and I think, as everyone knows, tactical marines are truly dreadful, even with bolter.
Even with bolter discipline, they're great on the Primaris units. It didn't help as well facing an all Primaris army. I've got pretty much double the number of wins as a tactical marine. Pretty good so far. Army performed okay. Intercessors did okay. Deathwatch helped with some mobility. Reavers again. Really struggling to get much out of the Reavers. I don't find their shot grenades are good for shutting down Overwatch. The problem being you can't really use them the first turn you arrive. You have to use second turn, which limits their usefulness. Inceptors were pretty decent. I like them again. Again, the toughness 5 of the Gravis armor helping a lot.
I don't know if there's a way to have a second wave of Hellblasters, but then I don't know that you needed them in this game. There's not much left that is a good Hellblaster target.
They are expensive.
Killing them just as well.
New Maelstrom rules. We didn't use many of the new stratagems, but the new rules I thought pretty good. You can pretty much choose what you want to score each turn, and you have
much better, because anything that is already a game of dice, and then to have random cards on top of that, multiplying that random effect. Sometimes it just takes games out of your hands, but having a smaller deck and being able to pick 3 from 5 means there was always at least a card I could score every time. That's not always the case in Maelstrom.
It does help that when you can choose which objectives you go for. I think with a bit more list build or deck building, you could get more power. Neither of us were using the army specific cards, but a couple of them might have been useful for you, like make a charge.
Yeah.
Or steal an objective from the enemy. Those sort of ones for the Space Marines would be useful. I don't even know what the Dark Angels ones are. I never use them.
Whoever looks at them,
but yeah, I think getting to choose out of a deck of 18, pretty effective. As anyone who watches or reads the blog knows, I'm a big fan of Maelstrom anyway. So hopefully these rules will improve matters for people and actually get more people playing Maelstrom, which would be nice. So thanks to Matt for coming along for a game.
Thanks, Mike.
Really nice Space Marine army. Unfortunately, Space Marines aren't in a great place at the moment. Really well painted though, really good army. But having seen some of Matt's other armies painted up, I'm sure it won't be long before we have him back in the channel again.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep, and remember, if you enjoyed the game, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notifications for new games.